Hello and welcome to EDCI 520, classroom-based assessment for language learners. Uh, this video is video number 1, and I am going to try to make videos for every content that needs more explanation and less student work performances. So I'll try to be guiding you throughout the semester and throughout this course. There are pieces that needs more explanation and pieces that you can do independently. For video number 1, I decided to build it basically to introduce myself, and you get a chance to see me, and I will explain to you the syllabus because this is something important that you'll need to understand from me firsthand. And then I'm going to explain to you the assignments of the course that are expected from you to work on, and finally just build a background on the framework of the course, link things together, show it to you in a visual graphic organizer, and explain it to you in detail. In video number 2 that I'm going to post as well on Blackboard, all of these videos are going to be on Blackboard under content area on the left side tab. Video number 2 will be more on explaining teaching and learning theories and second language acquisition theories and hypotheses, and linking all of these together to make sense of what is expected to be best teaching approaches in order to have better results and better assessment results. So this is in a nutshell what to expect in these videos, at least for week 1. Let me introduce myself first, and then we'll go in details on the explanation. So my name is Dr. Nora El-Bilawi. I'm going to be your professor for this semester. It's an intensive course, so let's just bear with it and just make sure that we finish the readings and do the work as much as we can. I've been teaching with George Mason University since 2008 as an adjunct professor. I graduated my master's and PhD from Mason as well, so I'm a child of Mason Institution, which I owe a lot. I worked as an assistant professor at the American University in Dubai for a year and a half, and I repatriated to start again with Mason to teach you. My area of expertise is in multicultural, multilingual education, international education, curriculum design, and curriculum instruction. So I'll bring all of these pieces together in our discussion on the assessment course today. This is my 3rd semester teaching the course, and so far it's been a wonderful experience. So I hope that we'll have a wonderful experience as well this semester. I would really hope that you introduce yourselves as well, so that we get to know each other and get to know more about you, and you get to know more about your colleagues. I have a blog tab on the left side where you can actually tell me more about yourself. Either a video, a picture would be good to just get to see you, and write something about yourself, your experience, your background, like I just did. You can even add hobbies. My hobbies are actually writing. It's part of my field as well, but I also like to play music, play piano. So that's something that that's a passion for me. I have 2 kids, and they're one is a 12-year-old and one is a 3-year-old, and I always say that my PhD is my 3rd child in the middle. As I said, please let me know more about you in the blog, and you can comment on each other if you would like to do so. Let's start with the syllabus, and I'm going to also go through the Blackboard page just to get you acquainted and how it looks like. Let me just start with that first. Here, that's the page. That's your Blackboard page that you should see. That's the home page right here. And you can always see announcements posted for you in here, and my first announcement was welcoming you. Every Friday I am going to post a new announcement just to make sure that we're together on the same page on what is expected from us to work on this coming week. So new material will start to appear to you on a Saturday. You should be working on it until Friday midnight, if you may. And then the new Saturday will come with new content. On Friday, you'll see a new announcement saying what to expect from you or what to expect to see on the following day, which is the Saturday, the beginning. So it is a synchronous semester. You are really not going to be expected to sit on the same time live and do your work. So we'll be at your leisure, kind of. You are going to manage your own time throughout that week. You will make sure that you're reading the material, you're commenting and discussing in the discussion board, you are posting what needs to be submitted, and you're following along with the videos that I'm going to post and the work that I'm going to post for you as well. So that's one thing. That's where you find the announcements and how useful this will be for you. It will be like a checkpoint for you. Then you go to the syllabus, and that's where you are going to download your syllabus. It should be now most up to date. I just updated it with a final copy for you yesterday. So please use that final copy. Content area is where you're going to find all of the reading materials and all of the videos that I'm going to post. Videos that I'm lecturing myself, or videos that are posted, brought from YouTube, or things that I think will help you to understand the material more. So here are the ratings. I did not add any videos yet for you because it will be added to you every Saturday. Just to avoid any confusion, I'm going to do that weekly. But the ratings are here for you to click on them. And we'll go here to the next tab, which is the assignment explanation. Here you're going to see this graphic organizer that I'm going to explain to you in a minute on what are just a visual of the assignments, basically, so that you wouldn't be feeling overwhelmed and all over the place. This is usually the feeling that students get at the very beginning of the semester when we explain to them all of the assignments. They get overwhelmed. So I decided to do a graphic organizer for you just to make it easier for you and more visual. Here is assignment explanation, an assignment by assignment with the rubric. It's there in the syllabus itself, but I just decided to put it for you in an organized manner as well under the assessment explanation, just for you to just go there, read it one shot, and find the rubric, and hopefully that will be helpful for you as well. I'm a visual person, so I really like to do a lot of visuals just to make sure that we're in the right pace together. And then in the assignment submission, it's very self-explanatory. You're going to click on it, submit your paper, and it's very easy to follow. There is nothing. If you have any issues, please email me. Always communicate with me, and this is something that I really expect from you. If you have any question, please come to me, email me, and I'll help you with that. Sometimes you get the wrong answers and you don't want to overwhelm yourself. And usually it's easier to just express any concern to me and I'll help you to solve it. Discussion boards is where we do our discussions, and that's basically where you show your interaction. This is our attendance per se. Since it's an online course, this is where you're going to show off your reading, your understanding, and answer questions. I'm going to make sure that I'm posting either questions, case studies, comments, and then from there we can start our discussions. Here is the blogs, and in the very bottom here you see introduce yourself. That's where you're going to introduce yourself. Tell me more about you. If you can make a video, post it, have a picture, post it, or if you prefer to just talk or write about yourself, just write about yourself. Here are the 3 groups that you're going to sign up for. We have expert groups and we have a presentation assignment. You're going to use these groups for both. Expert groups is where there is a content in the syllabus where it says you're going to, each expert group will read a specific part, and it's explained. If you open group 1, it will say the reading group, and that's where you're going to, that's what you're choosing. And if you have any problems seeing that, I'm going to explain it more. So each group will read 1 chapter, and they're going to be experts about it. We're all going to read the chapters, but this group is going to be responsible on posting questions, leading discussions, posting content if they prefer. All of that is under the discussion threads, and I'm going to create a discussion thread for that. I'm going to call it expert groups. That's where you are going to post your content. So each group will be responsible on that 1 chapter that you're going to read and explain to your colleagues and interact with them. Post any documents, videos, questions for the greater good. And then also this sign up, you're going to use it for the presentations. This same group is going to be your group that you're going to present with. This way it'd be easier that you get used to each other and how do you work together to maneuver things. So, and your presentations are going to be posted as well under the assignment tab that says the number of the assignment, which is, I think, assignment number 2. Here are the group signups where you can see which group you are. So group description, you're going to sign up for writing. That's the writing group. Another group will be reading, and another group will be listening and vocabulary. Okay, so that's basically our Blackboard. This is how you maneuver around it. Please feel free to just check it out, and if you have any questions, please email me or ask us on a thread on the discussion board. Okay, so that's Blackboard explanation. Let's go to the syllabus. That's the syllabus that you're going to find under the Blackboard tab that's called Course Syllabus. Right here, it's very detailed. You're going to find, this is my phone number. If there is an emergency, please call me. Or if you would like to speak with me, you can email me to schedule an appointment if it's not an emergency, and we'll talk together over the phone, or just email me with your questions. And that's the email right here. This is the description of the course and the overview of the course with domains and standards that this course covers. The course delivery here is, as we all know, it's Blackboard and it's asynchronous, as I just said, which means that it's not live. It's not an online live class. It is a class that happens in a 1 week duration where you do your work from Saturday till Friday, and then the new content starts again on Saturday. Please read in detail every single line here, because this is what my expectations are, and in order for you to follow along, you have to understand the expectations from the course, the outcomes and objectives, and these are the domains that this course covers. It covers language, culture, understanding, instruction, and implementing assessment. Okay. Then here's the textbook. There is a required textbook, which is only one, and then there are recommended textbooks. Of course, feel free to get the recommended text. It will help you. It's an extra resource, but it is not mandatory. Also, here are additional recommended readings. Again, they're recommended, so it's not required. If you would like to research more in the content and understand more, these are the resources that are going to be very helpful for you to do so. Here is the course performance evaluation, and that's the very important piece in the syllabus, and you need to really carefully read it, because some of the assignments are not going to be submitted only on Blackboard. There will be on our Blackboard here, there will be a tab that's called TK20. It is not appearing yet because it's still, the administration has to establish it and put the rubrics, and they just include it to the syllabus. So they're not included yet, and I have no control over it, but they will do that, the administration, and then we'll add it. And that's where you are going to submit any performance-based assignments. So the field work requirement, the logs, the hours, and the final project are the ones that are going to be submitted on the TK20 or the in-task. Okay, the rest of the assignments are going to be on Blackboard. Now let's look at the assignments just to understand it better. Here. And this is, again, this is included in your, under the assignment explanation. So here, the attendance. The attendance is essential, and I'm going to monitor this through your discussion board discussions. I will be witnessing or noticing if you are including just comments or really comments that are related to critical thinking based on the readings that you just read. So this will be my evaluation, and if you are absent from discussions and from readings, and I can't see you anywhere on Blackboard, submissions, or whatever, you have two chances, and unless you have an emergency, you need to contact me to tell me about it. Otherwise, it is not forgiven. After 2 absences, you will receive no credit for the course. The first assignment is instruction and assessment plan, and it's 35 points, and here are in details what is the expectations. Now, this is just an outline of the assignment right here, but if you need to understand more in details, you can read it in either on Blackboard under assignment explanation or in your syllabus. The second assignment is language proficiency assessment, which is the presentation, and that's when you're going to work with your team that you have signed up with and critique an assessment and its reliability and validity. So again, you're going to read about it in the syllabus and in the on Blackboard assignment explanation to understand more about it. And then the final one is the classroom-based assessment, which is the TK20 submission. That's where you're going to submit your work. I have a submission tab for you on Blackboard, but this is just a plan B. In case your TK20 doesn't work and you couldn't upload your paper, you want to make sure that you upload your paper on time. So if plan A, which is the TK20, didn't work, you can submit your paper on Blackboard until your TK20 is fixed. Then you can submit. So I have a tab for this one just as a plan B, but the actual assignment need to be submitted on TK20 together with an fieldwork log of hours. Okay. So the explanation here is that you're going to have 20 hours. You're going to study a group of students, 5 or more, and you're going to see a performance-based assessment, language assessment, and content assessment, and you're going to discuss why did you choose these based on your instruction, and what were the results, and your critique of whether it worked or not. So in the first assignment here, you're identifying a student, telling me about this student and the student's need. You're going to design a plan, that instructional plan that matches with that student's need, and then you're going to choose an assessment that is suitable for the lesson and for the student. Hence why we're going to learn more about learning theories and instructional theories. In the assessment 2, which is the presentation, you're going to look at some of the assessments that we use as summative assessments in the classroom for placement for ESOL students, and you're going to critique them. It's a one test, so you're going to critique it. And then the last assignment is the classroom-based assessment. And here are the fieldwork log. So basically you have 3 assignments for this course, but you need to have outstanding attendance through discussions, and you need to fill in your 20 hours field log with a supervisor to sign it. You'll find the form in the syllabus at the very end. Please read the explanation of the assignments first, and then look at the organizer, and it will feel much comfortable, and throughout the semester you're going to feel that you're more comfortable with the content and it will make sense to you. So these are the assignments with the exact explanation of each one of them. Please make sure that you read this part. If you're an in-service teacher, then you're good to go. If you are a pre-service teacher, which I don't think, because most of you are belonging to the same cohort, you'll need to go to the website here. So anyways, you'll have to go to the website and you have to put the information here. So please do so ASAP. Once you get the syllabus, read it, do that, so that you'll just secure yourself that you identified where your placement is. Where are you going to do or conduct these 20 hours of the classroom-based assignment. Explanation of the presentation, explanation of the instruction and assessment plan, and an explanation of the classroom-based assessment. Please go through the guidelines. Here are the grading, honor code, if anything happened, and what happens if you need to schedule an incomplete, what are the steps that you need to do. Please read this carefully as well. In here is our classroom schedule. I divided the content of our course into modules. If you're going to look here, you see Module 1, Module 2, and Module 3. Okay, let me explain this for you. You find this graphic organizer under content area. It says course framework right here. Just enlarge it. So the course framework is basically based on 3 modules. The first module covers domain 1 and 2. If you read the syllabus, you'll see the standards and the domains. In here, we need to learn about second language acquisition structure and the issues related to literacy and how culture influences language learning. So this will be our first session. We need to understand more about the foundation or the background of language learning. Why do I need to know that? Because without knowing and intentionally understanding what do English language learners go through, you are not going to be able to choose the right instructional approaches and strategies, and then you're not going to be able to assess with the right matching assessments. So if you don't do this sequence, your assessment at the end will probably not have the correct results or the right results that you actually want to assess or evaluate. It might be an issue of reliability and validity. If you did not teach well, how are we evaluating this? We place our students based on their level, and if their level was shaken and if their level was less because of lack of intentional instruction, then the evaluation and the placement is not valid. So we need to understand first is the acquisition theories and the learning and teaching theories before which is the foundation, before we go to module 2, which is understanding the now what kind of methods that I need to use in order to address these language acquisition foundations of how English language learners learn the language. So how do they learn the language? Now what do I need to use in order to teach them better? And then it will lead us to module 3, which is, okay, now what are the assessments that I can use with within my instruction of second language learners. So each one really leads to the other, and these two are the foundation to understand how to assess best and what kinds of accommodations that you need to include in your classroom lesson. And when you're doing even summative tests and placement tests, you'll need to understand what this student what the student's needs in order to address it and accommodate it. So these are the 3 modules that we're going to focus on. One will take the lead and it will lead to the other. And today, or this first week, we're going to basically tackle module 1. And tackling module 1 will start to pave the way for you, or pave the road for you to understand the instruction and assessment plan assignments. You won't understand the assignments until you understand the modules. That's why when you look at your rubric, you'll find that the assignments will come at the very end of the course. I designed it this way because it will make sense at the end when you understand more about the instruction. See, if you look up here, they're right after the other, but because you need to understand all of the modules before you start the designs. The first assignment is a lesson plan and instruction. So you need to understand the foundation of instruction of second language learners. And then you're going to choose an assignment that matches, an assessment that matches with this lesson, with this instructional lesson, and that's assignment 1. And then assignment 2 After discussing assessments and summative assessment and tests and validity and reliability and accommodations, you're going here to look at one of these assessments and critique it, evaluate it. Think about the practicality of this assessment. So again, you'll need to understand Module 3. And then in the last one, it's really all of them. You are looking at an instructional assessment of a language classroom or a content-based assessment of a content classroom, and you're going to critique it and see how it worked or how it didn't work and why it didn't work. Did you need to make different choices in your choices of these kinds of assessments with these specific students? So hence are the late submissions of assignments at the very end. Throughout the semesters, we're really working on understanding the content. So Module 1, the foundation. Module 2 is methods and strategies of, which is the so what, of the second language learners. And then Module 3 until the end will be assessment, learning about the foundation of assessments, types of assessments, quizzes, and here June 10th is where you do your expert group sign-ups. Each group will have one content to work on, and because of the number of the classroom, I see that you're only 7, so I divided you into 3 groups, and should be of 3s, but one group will be an extra number, and that's why you're going to have 2 rather than 1 chapter. And in here you're going to actually lead the discussions this week. You're going to lead the content and lead the discussions. And the reason why I intentionally did that rather than you read the chapters and I keep instructing in how to do it, it didn't feel right. When you read the chapters, you find that they're very practical chapters. They're mainly about what to do, which test do you need to give for which level of ESOL student, if that makes sense right now. I know it might be overwhelming right now, but you understand when you come to this. So because of the practicality of the nature of these chapters, I wanted you to entangle yourself and just read it, understand it, practice it, and then because you are teaching right now, you're going to have specific critical questions that might be of greater good for your colleagues, and that's when you post your questions, critical questions, and you're going to teach it to them from your own perspective. So this way you'll have a hands-on understanding of the skills rather than just for me to post lectures, and it will not be as I intended to do. I wanted it to be a workshop. In a face-to-face classroom, it would have been a workshop, but in online, we'll try to do the best out of it and just make sense out of it and discuss it and explain it and post videos. And I'm going to be doing that as well with you. I'm going to be helping out with videos to show you how to assess ESL students in reading or writing or speaking or listening. We're going to learn about diagnostic assessments for gifted and disabilities, and then a summary discussion at the end, and your presentations will help in actually enriching these summary discussions. The last day of class is really June 24th, but I gave you an extra couple of days, the weekend, to just finalize your final papers. There is no session, there is no class, but your final paper is due on the 26th. I didn't want, because of the online nature, you might lose track of when to start things and when to work on things. You'll find me saying something about, now you're ready to write this part, now you need to do that, after this session work on this, just to keep track of you again, just to make sure that you're on track and you're not falling behind. please follow that. It's very important and you find it very helpful. The classroom schedule seems self-explanatory. This is the date of the Saturday, and this is the content of what we're going to cover, and that's the expected readings or any kind of a submissions that you need to do. So it's very self-explanatory. You know what we're working on this week, and you know what you need to be reading on this week. The rest of the syllabus is basically very minute details of each assignment. Now, you found at the very beginning just a brief explanation of the assignment, but at the very end, after the classroom schedule, any extra details that you need, very specific, you're going to follow right here. So please do that. Once you have the syllabus, read the whole syllabus just to get an idea. Read the graphic organizers again that I just explained to you, and you'll understand it more and it will be familiar. And again, don't panic because the assignments are at the very end, when I guarantee that you're going to be fully aware and understanding of the whole content. Again, I can't stress enough how important to read the syllabus, how important to maneuver around Blackboard, and how important to keep up with the readings, the videos that I'm going to post, and the discussion boards. Sign up from now. If you know your dates and if you know what you want, please do so. Sign up right now. If you have any problem signing up, please email me and I'll try to fix that as soon as you email me. I'll make sure to address it right away. That's in a nutshell our framework, syllabus, expectations, and attendance. Please make sure that your assignments are submitted on time. You have, on the submission date, say you're expected to submit your paper on June 26th, then you have until midnight of that day, until 11:59, to submit your paper. If you know or speculate that you think you're not going to be able to submit it on that date because of an emergency, because something happened to you, because of something serious, please email me and we'll discuss it and we'll see what we can do. Any failure to submit your assignment on time, you will have a 1 point subtracted per day. So if you submit your assignment on the 27th rather than the 26th, then you are already missing 1 point, minus 1 point of your whatever grade that you took at the very end. So say, for example, you got 34 out of 35, hypothetically, and you submitted it a day after the submission date, then you will receive a 33 rather than 34 out of the 35. Assignments are going to be very easy once you understand the whole content, and they're really at the very end, so you should be working on them along the way. And I'm not prospecting any kind of failure to submit assignments, but emergencies happens, I understand. Just make sure that you address that and communicate it well with me to avoid any subtraction of grades. All right, so this video covered introducing myself, introducing the course and the syllabus, introducing Blackboard, the course framework, and the assignments expectations. In video number 2, I'm going to explain to you more about the foundations of second language acquisition and Krashen's. Please read Krashen's document on Blackboard, you'll find explanation of the chapters that you need to read or the parts that you need to read. Please read that and then watch the video that I'm going to post on Blackboard during the coming week. Starting tomorrow until Friday, you'll find this content, read it, watch it, discuss it. Thank you.